is a better word, I guess. I'll put it that way.
There was the May 20th date that they were talking about. I think it's Champions League. There's a soccer conflict in the UK, so they're trying to move.
They're trying to move things around. There's nothing yet set in stone.
First question here, John.
How you doing, you guys? Lamont Peterson, Mr. Errol Spence. Know these guys pretty well. Mr. Errol Spence, how do you feel about your fight coming up with Kell Brook? You're going over to enemy territory, but I know, like I said, I seen you last night. Look like you focused and you're ready to handle business. But how you going to be taking all this in?
It feels great. This is a lifelong dream, something I dreamed about since I was a kid, to fight for a world championship. And I'm taking it back, throwback. He came over here and took the title, in hostile territory. So I'm going there in hostile territory, basically in his kitchen, to bring the title back to America, and that's what I'm going to do.
Mr. Spence, Kell Brook is a big guy.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that guy?
I think I'm a big guy too. They say he walking around in the 70s, 170s. I walk around in the 170s too. I'm not a small guy either, and I'm very physical too, so it'll be interesting. Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Eric? So, Spence, how do you feel like fighting overseas? Do you feel like if it's a close fight, they're gonna give you a fair handshake?
I can't worry about that. My game plan always to look impressive. To look for the knockout. If I get it, take the knockout. So all my fights, I'm looking for the KO. So I'm not looking for it to go to the decision and take it in the judge's hands. But from my understanding, the IBF was supposed to pick the officials and the judges. So hopefully it's on an even playing field, and I go over there, and get a fair shake.
Actually, this question I wanted to ask to Stephen because he said that in essence this is a welterweight unification tournament. Everybody remembers the Super Six tournament, which ended great, but they had a couple of dropouts in between. Maybe that kind of skewed things a little bit. Because of those dropouts, and is that why this is not being called officially a tournament?
Right, because it's if you announce it as a tournament and it's very structured, then there's a set of expectations, and if you deviate, people get distracted and sometimes disappointed. But all these guys, we all sat down, over a year ago, and said let's map out something where maybe at the end of 17 or early 18, we could be talking about something pretty close to an undisputed champion. So it's guys like these who are cooperating, and Kell Brook and and Danny and Keith. It takes them cooperating because there's certainly no contract in place. But we said, let's clarify things. We have one of the deepest divisions in the sport. Let's get to work and find out who's the best.
Well, one quick follow up, and Lou said that this is a very deep division. Obviously, with a couple of hiccups on the Super Six, I think a lot of people have said, hey, that worked out great.
Mhm.
If this works out like it looks like it might, might that be kind of like a blueprint for further sort of...
Yeah, I think so. And it's pretty similar to what we're trying to do at 126. Yeah, and in 54. If we think about 26, we have featured Gary Russell, Lee Selby, Frampton, and Santa Cruz, multiple times. And, Jesus Cuellar when he had the title, Abner as well. And all those guys made a commitment to us that they're willing to participate in a round robin. Again, it takes a little trust and a little flexibility, but you're seeing, the results of guys getting with the program. We've got a plan. Guys like these two sign on and say, we're in, and we sort of, to a certain extent, make it up how it goes, although we know what the end goal is.
Hi, this is for Errol. The two fights you had here in Brooklyn last year, first at Barclays, then at Coney Island, against some experienced guys. How important were they for your development as a fighter and also kind of, building up your profile within the division?
That was very important. I think that was kind of, as a range finder, because Chris Algieri, he fought Manny Pacquiao. It went the distance, and I ended up stopping him early. You have Bundle who went the distance, Keith Thurman, you know, marked up Keith Thurman pretty bad. You know, and I ended up stopping the two. So it was kind of rangefinder to see where's my skills, where at, you know, how I do under pressure, and I thought I did great.
And this for Lamont. Adrian, I know Adrian is your friend. Y'all both on the same card. I mean, you know, if the money is right, you know, would y'all actually fight each other? I know y'all good friends, but you know,
Yeah, we
money
cool,
speaks.
and a lot of people been asking me. A lot of people been asking me that question lately, but I always answer, I always say, likely it won't happen. But honestly, I'll fight anyone other than my brother. I mean, it's a sport, you know, and it don't mean just because you're fighting someone that you have to hate them or you don't, you know, you can't be friends with them. It's a business. We're trying to provide for our family and complete goals in our life. So it doesn't really make a big difference. But likely, I really don't see it happening.
Any other questions for fighters?
One for Errol. Did you have any takeaways from that Triple G, from Brook's loss to Triple G, or did you just really just charge it to the fact that Triple G was so much bigger?
I didn't have any takeaways. Kell Brook fought with a lot of heart. You know, I think he showed a lot of guts, and you know, Triple G was a bigger fighter. I think he was bigger, and he just pressed him out.